Hi, it's Money44 here, and today I invite you to the Airsoft Lifehacks Tactical Edition. Today we'll talk about things that seem obvious at first glance, but with which I noticed that new players often have problems. So without prolonging, let's go! We will start with skill that in my opinion is necessary, which is shooting from non-dominant hand. I'm right-handed, but you can often see in my videos that I'll also shoot from my left. This skill is especially useful when we want to lean out from behind cover from a weaker side, in my case the left. If I would like to fire from my left side with the rifle in my right hand, I have to expose myself practically fully, which makes me an easy target. By switching my hand to the left, I can expose myself minimally, which makes me much more difficult to hit. I sincerely recommend training to shoot from the weaker side. At the beginning it can be hard, but after some time it will become your second nature. If you do not run with high-cap magazines, you will probably run off ammunition at some point and you will have to reload. There are many quick reloading techniques, and one of them is to change the magazine in the letter L. I personally like to do it with a reverse L, and it works like this. We raise the replica to the working area, thanks to which it will be easier for us to change the magazine. We pick up a new magazine like this, put a full magazine into an empty one and grab them together. Now take out the old magazine and insert a new one with a smooth movement. After all, the only thing left was to put the old magazine into the dump pouch. You can perform the technique like this, or with the magazine forcing forward and turn it towards you. For me, this version is more convenient. When training, remember to start very slowly and increase speed over time. Otherwise, you can make lots of mistakes. If you ever played Call of Duty, you probably know this line: switching to a pistol is faster than reloading. Works both in games and in real life. As we can see, changing the magazine, even with the technique shown just now, takes more time than quickly changing the pistol. It is worth remembering. Another thing that is worth paying attention to is an appropriate shooting stance. Although in Airsoft replicas we do not have such a recoil as in real firearms, the appropriate stance will shorten the time to aim and give you a more stable position to shoot. New players often do not support the stock properly, extend their elbows wide, which makes them easy target, and grab the mag well, which means they do not have a good control over the front of the replica. Therefore, when aiming your rifle, remember to keep your elbows as close as possible to the body. Place the stock here. Hold the front firmly by the handle or the front itself. And finally, lean in properly. This will make your position more stable and make you less of a target. Talking about being a target, we must know how big of a target we are, so it's worth remembering about the 3 positions that we can adapt. We are most mobile while standing, but we are also the biggest target. When crouching, our silhouette is much smaller, we have a more stable position to fire, but our mobility is slightly worse. When lying down, we are the smallest target. We can often rest the replica firmly in order to fire from a hidden position for a long time. Unfortunately, our mobility in this position is very limited. The smaller you are a target, the harder it is to hit you, remember this. Airsoft is not a theater of one actor, so it's worth learning the basics of acting in a team. One of such basic rules is keeping distances to your comrades. When moving together, you're an easy target for the enemy's fire. By keeping a few meters away, you provide yourself with more chance to survive. Even if the first person in the column gets hit, the next one can take the fight. If you work together in a pack, you also return to the respawn like this. When moving forward, it's worth using a technique of moving from cover to cover. One team member covers another one reaching the cover. When the latter is there, the first one can join him and repeat the steps until reaching the target. Thanks to this, we can keep the distance between ourselves, but also cover others when moving. When talking about cover, one cannot forget about covering fire. Sometimes to move forward, it's good to force the opponent to hide. In this case, one player shoots the opponent's position so that the other can move. The technique is useful both when attacking and retreating. The fire itself does not have to be super accurate, it is important that it presses the enemy to the ground. If we move quietly and we have to pass important information to our team, non-verbal signs can be very helpful. Thanks to them we can quickly and quietly communicate with our team. There are many signs themselves, but it's worth knowing at least a few. Stop, danger. I see. I hear. The amount of the enemy. Direction. March out. There are many more signs, but I noticed that these are most useful. On the airsoft battlefield, our own shadow may become our enemy. In this example you can see what I mean. I move with the sun behind my back. My shadow is visible much earlier than myself, so Borek can prepare, and before I saw him, I was already in lost position. By keeping to the shadows, I can approach Borek unnoticed, so remember to pay attention not only to the enemy's shadow, but also to your own. Very often leaning the replica against the cover can betray your position. When leaning it on the cover we have a more stable position to shoot, but we also put the replica outside of it, which makes us easier to see. So remember not to stick to the covers, and if you lean the replica against them, do so that it does not protrude beyond them, an error the most often I see when opponents use doors or windows. I know that some of the tips may be obvious to you, but remember that this series is aimed mainly at new players, and I have to admit that some of the described mistakes I have also seen done by older players. In the comments let me know if you liked today's episode and if you would like to see another one like this. And for now, thanks for watching and see you next time.
Potrzebuję pomocy na lewej stronie, tutaj oczyściłem.